Hello, good evening everyone. Today we are in the part 3 of rational and irrational numbers of class 9 syllabus. We will be continuing with irrational numbers as we had completed rational numbers. Uh, in part 3 we are going to discuss about the types of irrational numbers. There are two types of numbers, terminating, which are rational numbers, and non-terminating decimals, which are irrational numbers. Non-terminating decimals are such that they the remainder of such division will never be zero. They will continue be a natural number other than which will never be zero. Thus, in a non-terminating decimal, there are two types: recurring or repeating decimal and non-recurring non-terminating decimals. Recurring decimals are the numbers which show a certain pattern or format while repeating, and non-terminating decimals are the decimals which show no pattern or format while division and continue endlessly. Thus, we shall begin with the types of decimals today. The first one will be, we will find out, or we will this question would be to prove that a recurring decimal is rational or not. For example, the number is, we are going to take this sum 0.123, where 3 is recurring. Let us take it as x. Therefore, in this number, we will first take out the non-recurring part from x. For taking out the non-recurring part, which is 12, out of this, we need to multiply x by 100. Therefore, 100x is equal to 12.3 recurring. Now, we can express this recurring part as 12.3333. Now, we will take another number from this, only 1. Now, 1000x is equal to, multiplying 100x by into 10, 1000x is equal to 123.3333. As it is recurring, it will continue endlessly. Now we will subtract 100x from 1000x, giving us 900x. 900x. Right. It will be 123. The recurring part of the decimal will be cancelled out, so the remaining part would be, it would be 111. As the recurring part has been cancelled, 123 minus 12 would be 111. Now we will take 900 to this side. 111 by 900, which is a recurring decimal, which cannot be further subtract, which will be simplified further by 3. It will be 0 and 37 by 300. So it will end up 37 by 300, which will be a rational number as it is a terminating decimal. Now, this is how we prove that a recurring number is a rational number or not. Now the next sum would be to find out whether so we have to find out the decimal expansion of some terminating numbers. For example, first the theory would be that to check whether a recurring decimal is terminating or not, the denominator should be given in the form of 2m into 2 to the power m into 5 to the power n, where m and n are whole numbers. If m can be 0 or any number above that, and n can be 0 or any number above that. For example, we take a sum 1715 by 2 cube into 7 cube. Now, for finding out the number, in the denominator there is no chance of finding out 5. So first we take out 5 from this number. It will be simplified into 7 cube into 5. So this will give us 2 cube into 7 cube. 7 cube will be cancelled out. Now we have 5 by cube. For giving the number in a decimal format, we need to find that 2 cube, which are 2 to the power m and 5 to the power n, where m and n should be equal. Then only we will get a number with such as 10, 100, 1000 or anything like that. For we have 2 cube here, so we need to multiply both the numerator and denominator by 5 cube, which will give us 5 into 5 cube, 5 to the power 4, 5 cube by 2 cube into 5 cube, which will give us 5 to the power, which will be 625 by 1000, which will be 0.625. 0.625 will be the answer for this. So this is how you will simplify terminating decimal into a fraction to decimal format. Now there will be another number, type of number, for example 31 by 243, where first we have to take out 3, we have to check whether the denominator is in 2 to the power m into 5 to the power n format. So for that we need to take this number as p by q. Now we need to take this in the format of prime factorization, which will give us 31 by 3 to the power 5. Now 31 by 3 to the power 5, we see that it has a prime factor 3, which is other than 2 and 5. Thus, and it cannot have 2 and 5, so it will not be a rational number but an irrational number. So this type of number will be proved as an irrational number if they do not have 2 or 5 in the number. In a better way, if they have 3 or any other prime number other than 5 or 2, which will prove that they have a common factor other than 5 or 2. Now we continue to the next type of sum, which will be surds. Now surds are irrational numbers in the form of roots. For that, in surds there are multiple types of surds which are named as order of surds. Now order of surds are written by, for example, this would be surd of the second order, this would be surd of the third order, this would be surd of the third order, and this would be surd of the fifth order, and so for this mainly we get surd of the second order and surd of the third order. Surd of the second order in normal terms would be a square root, and surd of the third order in normal terms would be a cube root. Now this is all about the types of surd. Now we can go to mathematical calculations with surd. Now addition and subtraction is not possible with two different types of surds, but in a normal way, but multiplication and division is. For example, root 3 plus root 5 is not written as root 3 plus 5 or root 8, which will be completely wrong. But it cannot be written in addition or subtraction form. But if it is root 3 into root 5, it can be written as root 3 into 5, which will be root 50, which can be written in multiplication and division can be derived. such as if it is division here, then it would be root 3 by root 5, which would give us root 3 by 5 in this format. We can take the whole root over at once in multiplication and division format. This was all about surds. Now we go to some types of surds. Surds, there are few types of sums. For example, we will be given the value of one surd, and we have to first simplify it to only that surd, and then we have to calculate the value. For example, one sum is root 27 plus root 75 plus 108 root over plus minus root 243, which will be simplified as 9 into 3, which will be 9 on square root, which gave us 3. Therefore 3 root 3. If this 3 comes in here, it will be 9 into 3, it will be 27. Now 25 into 3 will give us 75. 25 square root will be 5. Therefore 5 will go outside, plus 5 root 3 plus 36 into 3, which will be 6 square rooting it, plus 6 root 3 minus, now we take 3 from this, which will give us 81 into 3. Now 81 square root will be 9, so we take it as 9 root 3. Now 6 and 9 minus, it will be leave us with 3. Now 3 and 3 cancels out. Now that means this as a whole cancels out with this, and 5 root 3 is the remaining one. 5 root 3. Here we have been given the value of root 3 as 1.732. We will continue to multiply it. Now is the time to calculate into 1.732, which will give us 8.66. 8.66. Now we have to keep in mind that if we put the value of root 3 over here, it would get very difficult for us, and addition and subtraction would take a lot of time. And one more thing about surd is that if there is x, root x or root 3 plus root 3, then we will take it as 2 root 3. In a simple way, we can take one complete surd as a variable. Like root 3 can be completely taken as x, which will give us root 3 plus root 3. That means x plus x is equal to 2x. That means 2 root 3. Now this is how we got 6 root 3 minus 9 root 3 as 3 root 3, because we should look at as 6x minus 9x is equal to minus 3x. Therefore minus 3 root 3. Now we go to the next type of sum, which would be proving surds. We would be proving today that root 6 is an irrational number. For an irrational number, we need to, like in proving root 2 as an irrational number, we first need to take it as a rational number, then only we can prove it. Now we continue root 6 cube root 6. We will take it as root 6 cube root 6 is equal to p by q. Let it be an rational number. Therefore, we cubing both the sides, we get root 6 is equal to p cube by q cube, which will give us p cube is equal to q cube root 6, and by this it will show us that 1, it will be 6, not root 6, it will be 6 only here. because it is also cube. It will be 6 and it will be 6. Now from the theorem 1 which we had discussed earlier, if a prime number divides a number, then it will divide also the other number in the same equation. For we take 2 as the prime number. 2 divides 6q cube. Therefore 2 has to divide p cube, but 2 is prime. Therefore 2 divides p cube, but 2 is prime. Therefore 2 divides p. This was from theorem 1. Now we go to the next part of this, where we take p as 2m. P is equal to 2m. Now from this equation, we substitute the value of p as 2m over here. Now we will continue as 2m cube is equal to 6q cube is equal to 8m cube is equal to 6q cube. 4, 3. Now as 2 divides 4m cube, from theorem 1, 2 divides 4m cube, and therefore 2 being a prime number has to divide 3q cube. Therefore 2 divides 3q cube. Now here we use theorem number 2, where if a prime number divides a and b, number AB, then the prime number either has to divide a or b or both. Here a, which is 3, cannot be possible, as 2 dividing by 3 being divided by 2 give us a decimal, so it is not possible. Therefore 2 has to divide q. Therefore 2 divides q cube. Now again we use theorem number 1, q cube. If 2 divides q cube, then 2 has to divide q. Therefore 2 divides q. Now it proves that p by q have a common factor 2 other than 1. Therefore it has to be an irrational number, as it contradicts the fact that they have no common factors. Therefore p by q have common factor. Therefore p by q, or it was root 6 cube root, is an irrational number, as it contradicts the fact the previous statement must be wrong, and the previous statement was, let's take cube root 6 as an rational number. Rational number is wrong, therefore it has to be an irrational number. Therefore this was all for today. Tomorrow, if you have any problems about irrational number and rational number, or any other topic, you may type it in the comment box or WhatsApp me at 9874944154. You can enroll and have any detail about the online classes at this WhatsApp number. And that was all for today. We'll see you in the next class, probably tomorrow. Thank you.